Black's third grade class, a teaching and learning case study by Aki Issa, Celine Ferruto, Lauren Hadley, and Yotis Taburuea. Ika Funaki is 8 years old and attends Sunshine Elementary School in Oahu, Hawaii. His school consists of approximately 500 students, all varying in ethnicities. Sunshine Elementary School consists of students from a low-income household, including Ika's family. He lives in a home where both his parents work full-time, night and day, in order to meet all of their living expenses. Due to long hours at work, once his parents are home, they do not have the energy or desire to help him with his schoolwork. His sister, who is 15 years old, is the one who takes care of him mostly, including helping him with his homework. Although in third grade, Ika still struggles with reading long and complex words and sentences. Whenever he reads independently, he typically skips over the words he doesn't know and moves on with the reading. Ika, however, does like to listen to his sister read stories to him, and he also enjoys looking at the illustrations of text. Ika's third grade teacher is named Miss Black. She has only been teaching for 2 years, and this is her first year teaching third grade. Previously, she has been teaching upper grade levels and is used to students who need less teacher guidance. For this lesson, Ms. Black wants her to teach her students how to comprehend narrative text and meaning-making strategies. This school is inspired from the Common Core State Standards Literacy RL 3.1. Ask and answer questions to demonstrate understanding of a text, referring explicitly to the text as a basis for the answers, and Common Core State Standards Literacy RL 3.2. Determine the main idea of the text and recount the key details and explain how they support the main idea. Ms. Black plans to teach the students the strategies to make meaning of a narrative text through her many lessons in the book of Charlotte's Web by E.V. White. She knows that by using these standards, students will have the tools and strategies to make meaning of a narrative text. Using these methods is important for the students to be able to draw meaning from text. This will also help students to learn how to support their ideas. Ding ding, the bell rang for school to begin. Miss Black's third grade class came walking through the door, excited for the day to begin. After the morning routines were complete, Miss Black began her reading workshop with a book talk. During the book talk, Miss Black introduced the book Charlotte's Web by E.V. White. Next, Miss Black began the mini lesson where she showed the students one strategy they can use to make meaning of a narrative text. The strategy Miss Black taught during the mini lesson was use multiple sources of information while reading, including background knowledge, personal experience, literary experience, visual information, and language, to make meaning of a narrative text. After her mini lesson, Miss Black asked the whole class if they understood what was taught, and they all nodded yes. One student, Ika Funaki, actually did not understand what Miss Black taught during her mini lesson and was confused how to make meaning of the text. Although he did not understand and was confused, when he saw that all of his peers said they did understand, he was too embarrassed to raise his hand and say so. Miss Black told the students earlier in the week to bring a novel which they had wanted to read during the independent portion of the reading workshop. The book Ika chose to read was Matilda by Roald Dahl. The students knew that during independent reading they were to read silently without talking and in a comfortable place. The independent reading began. Ika was reading silently to himself, and before he knew it, he was on the 10th page. Only a short amount of time had passed, and he was proud of himself that he had read that far. As he stopped and noticed the page he was on, he realized he couldn't remember anything he had just read. He tried to think long and hard and was still unable to recall the last 10 pages he had read. It wasn't until he had reread a couple of pages and that he noticed his mind had wandered off, and again he couldn't recall what was read. He could notice Miss Black circulating the room and conferencing with some of his peers, and he hoped that she would not come to him. During independent reading, Miss Black walks throughout the class and confers with individual students. She knows it is important to talk with individual students because she can take notes that will inform her teaching, enable her to create effective reading groups, and help her document student progress. During the conferences, Miss Black likes to move quickly so she can meet with as many students as she can. She asks each student she confers with the same 2 questions, which are, how is your reading going? Is there anything you're struggling with? When Miss Black was getting close to Ika, he knew that she would eventually reach him, and he read as fast as he could because he did not want her to see that he hadn't read very much. She finally arrived at Ika's desk. How is "How's your reading going?" she asked. Ika replied, "It's okay." Because of time constraint, Miss Black did not dig much deeper into why Ika's reading was just okay. Miss Black asked Ika her last question. "Is there anything you are struggling with while reading?" He said, I don't think so." "Okay, well, awesome. Continue reading," Miss Black said. While she was conferring, Miss Black kept a teacher's notebook where she kept notes. Appendix B, an example from Miss Black's teacher notebook, and you can see that IF is Ika Funaki's progress. His reading was well, and he did not have any struggles. Find that after every independent reading period, the students are to write a response in their journals about what they just read, and then share their responses with their table group. Ika was dreading it. He knew that even though he had read many chapters in the text, he was not able to remember what he read. He remembered bits and pieces of the reading, but not enough to write a response, let alone share the response with his peers. He was once again too embarrassed for his peers to see he did not understand. However, there was no way to avoid it. In his ELA journal, Ika just writes down certain points from the text which he remembers. When it is his turn to share his written response with his table group, he tells his group all he can remember from the reading, which is hardly anything. This is, this is Ika's ELA journal response. You can see he did not understand and could not remember what he had read and just wrote down the main points he remembered from the text and included a picture to show his points that